Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really powerful, a complete blueprint for a healthier life, all based on the wisdom of yoga and meditation teacher Osman. We're going to talk about why just focusing on diet or just exercise, well, it's kind of like trying to build a house with only one wall. You need a system, and that's exactly what we're going to lay out. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll get our heads around this whole holistic wellness idea. Then we're hitting the big three pillars: how you think, what you eat, and how you move and rest. And finally, we'll put it all together into one powerful blueprint for your life. So what's the big idea here? It's that real, true health isn't about ticking off a checklist of good habits. It's about creating a single, interconnected system where your mind, your diet, and your physical body are all working together in harmony to make you resilient to stress and illness. So what does this look like in real life? It means we stop looking for that one magic bullet, that single quick fix. It's not just about hitting the gym every so often or trying to meditate for 10 minutes. It's about creating this amazing upward spiral, right? The food you eat sharpens your mind. The sleep you get powers your body. You see? Everything is connected. So where do we even begin with all this? With the most powerful tool any of us have, our own mind. It turns out your mental state isn't just floating around in your head. It has a profound, direct, and pretty incredible impact on your physical health. Whoa. Okay, let's just pause on that for a second. That is a huge statement. The argument here is that a consistent, disciplined mindfulness practice can calm your body's systems so effectively that its impact can actually rival some medications. That's a pretty mind-blowing idea about the power of the mind to heal. But, and this is so important, it comes with a critical warning. This is not, and I repeat, not a suggestion to replace any prescribed treatment. The source is absolutely emphatic about this. Any change to medication has to happen under the strict supervision of a doctor. Period. And this isn't a quick fix either. You need a sustained practice of 6 weeks or more to see these kinds of benefits. All right, from the mind, let's move on to our fuel. This part isn't just about eating clean. It's about really understanding the powerful and sometimes hidden ways our food affects us, starting with something that most of us eat every single day. You ever wonder why it is so incredibly hard to say no to that dessert? Well, this is why. The source points out that sugar basically hijacks the exact same addictive pathways in your brain as heroin. I mean, wow. When you know that, you realize it's not just about willpower. You're fighting actual brain chemistry. That's why moderation is often a much more realistic goal than trying to just cut it out completely. So here we see the ideal versus the reality. The yogic ideal is all about eating living foods filled with what's called prana, or life force energy. Think raw, unprocessed nuts and fresh vegetables. But let's be real, for most of us, that's not always practical. So a much more sustainable path is the 80-20 rule. Aim for good, wholesome, home-cooked food 80% of the time, and give yourself a little flexibility for the other 20%. And just to show you how much is possible, the source shares a really personal story. This isn't just some theory, it's a real-life example of someone going from one extreme to the complete opposite. He talks about his old self as a meat beast. I mean, he was regularly eating an entire kilogram of meat. That's more than 2 pounds in a single sitting. You can imagine there wasn't much room for veggies on that plate. And on top of that, he was eating 9 to 12 eggs every single day. So to go from that starting point to his current plant-based diet, it's just a powerful reminder that our habits and our health can absolutely be transformed. But fuel isn't just about food, right? The simplest, most critical element is just water. Our bodies are about 70% water, which means basically every single thing we do, from thinking clearly to digesting our lunch, depends on it. And the key here is pure water. Not coffee, not juice. Your body processes that stuff differently. Okay, we've covered the mind, we've covered our fuel. This final pillar is all about how we use and recharge our bodies, with the twin engines of movement and rest. And these aren't just things that are nice to have. They're absolutely essential for aging well and staying independent. The framework here is just beautifully simple. It all starts with sleep, 7 to 9 hours of it. That's your body's mandatory repair cycle. Then comes regular strength training, which is so crucial for keeping your muscle mass as you get older. And finally, daily movement, like a good walk, acts like the oil that keeps the whole system running smoothly. And here's a really important distinction we need to make. While yoga is absolutely phenomenal for mindfulness, for breathing, for flexibility, The source is clear. It is not a primary muscle builder. To fight off age-related muscle loss and things like osteoporosis, nothing beats strength training. That's what's going to keep you strong and self-sufficient for years to come. Okay, so we've looked at all the pillars individually: mind, fuel, and movement. Now for the most important part, seeing how they all lock together to build a single, unshakable foundation for your health. And there it is, the complete blueprint. This is where the magic really happens. When you get better sleep, you have more mental energy for mindfulness. When you eat a healthy diet, you fuel your workouts. When you're less stressed for meditation, your sleep improves. You see? It's not a list, it's a powerful, self-reinforcing loop. And so let's end with a question for you. Looking at this blueprint, where's your biggest opportunity right now? Which one of these pillars could you strengthen, even just a little bit? Because in a system like this, a small change in just one area has the power to elevate everything else.